just acting our age. There's people here that I just met, but we're acting like we go back. It's 3 a.m., we ain't done yet, trying our best to make it last. Freedom running through us like an...
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's a fresh start throughout the league here in Week 1 as these two teams have high hopes for the season ahead. It's the Packers going up against the Vikings. The opening kick of the new season is straight ahead as we turn it over to our broadcast duo of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, thank you very much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Twin Cities and the expansive new U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Tonight, it's the Thursday opener for the new NFL season between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
So pinpoint, so accurate. Sometimes we forget just how good he is. We start to take him for granted because he always places the ball exactly where it needs to be for his receivers.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And here's a look at the starting offense. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
When I see Sharif Floyd hit the field, I think of all the potential he has, and it's a lot of fun watching that come to the surface.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. On now is the Packers punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And this will be taken at the 13. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback. on the ground they go with a running back. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives them a new set of downs. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him. But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. A lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
So now it's 1st and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments. Let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking. Beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Minnesota defense, we watch them get set to roll. They were able to force the 3-and-out last time, led to the punt, and then led to a touchdown for their crew. So they'll be looking for a little bit more of that, Charles.
Well, I think that they created the spark with the 3-and-out. Gave a little momentum to their offense. Who say, all right, appreciate it, guys. And they took the ball downfield and stuck it in the end zone.
And that defense wasn't out there long. They'll be trying to keep it short here. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
On 3rd and long. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Let's take it inside his own 40. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down. And now a peek at the starters on the defensive side. So 2nd and 10 here. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that's off the mark, incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it's 3rd down.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he's able to bat it away.
Back to throw. And he'll be grabbed from behind and slung down like a rag doll. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
And not what he was hoping for there as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And this offense last time turned. Turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
They'll come out in the pistol. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. That one good for 10 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Third down now following the completed pass. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on third.
Playing coverage here.
So that'll do it for the first quarter as we kick off another season. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football, but they've got a 3rd and inches coming up, trying to keep the chains moving. Three receivers to the left, one to the right. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. A well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Now a play fake here and no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's second and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on third. From the gun on third down, Rodgers. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back. And now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Work out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down. You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll drop the throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. These coaches told us they wanted to take the top off this defense. They wanted to be able to stretch them downfield. They showed it pretty well there.
And they knew that if they were able to do that, it would open up everything else. But how did they truly get it done? Practice in the previous week, making sure they had a plan, fine-tuned before they put it into effect in the game.
Two minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. 8 yards to go here on second down. One receiver left, 3 to the right. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So a big sack on second down. Now let's see what the offense has in store for third.
Let's go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. His throw caught at about the 5. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen from 4 yards out. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And it's good to make it 14-0. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. This is Cobb with a catch right side.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
You got him! You got him!
Second and 5. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Here's Rodgers to throw. Caught left side by Cobb. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. 26 yards on the pickup there. And that leads to a Green Bay first.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
First down, Rodgers. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. A final shot before half for Rodgers. He's going to float this into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Vikings are happy to be in front, and they'll look to play another solid half of football. The Packers know it's always hard to come in and get a win on the road, but they're not out of this one yet. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Vikings have it at the 4. This run stays up the middle here, and this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown. Vikings take the early lead. Third down from inside the 40. The pass ends up being picked off. It's Rodgers Cromartie who's in the right spot to pick off the pass. Offense now with the shot after the pick. The catch is made after a quick pass. And after the short pass, he'll score. That puts them on top by 14. Down to late in the first half. Completion is made across the middle of the field. And he'll be tackled at the 31-yard line. So that's it for us. We'll go back now under the lights for the second half of this Thursday night matchup.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. That'll bring up second down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Now a play fake. Rodgers. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside, not easily covered. And then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Caught by Cobb. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's third down for this offense. Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here, you really like them.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Looking to throw. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. Back to throw again. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Well, still in search of the first down after that last completion. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third. They'll look to throw now on first down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. They'll look to throw again. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Adam Thielen, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Prater on to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. And to give this time to the tailback. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
He's got Adams on the hookup. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up third down on the sack. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage, to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
He'll return it from the 6. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They come out here in the eye. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 9 yards on the pickup that time, so he got more than half of it back. But it's still a 3rd and 8. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. It's complete to Diggs. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. Now a handoff here to his running back. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Cordero Patterson, the one he was hoping to get it to. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Back to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
The Vikings send out their punter, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He's going to launch this thing. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Unable to connect on the 1st down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. And he comes back with one complete. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Simple slant route, and part of a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Rodgers will try again on second down. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it's third down. Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he finds Cook. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Rodgers now on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Tackle made there by Sharif Floyd. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. And quickly, they get to the line. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And he'll go out of bounds down inside the 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Rodgers going to throw. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And Adams has it complete.
Holding offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now in desperation. That is caught by Cobb. And it's a Packer touchdown. Randall Cobb, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. We get a look at the Packers defense. defense as they work their way into position. And the interception the last time, their third takeaway of the game, Charles.
They're just flocking to the football so well. And not only are they doing that, they're making big-time plays and taking it away from them. Big hits, big plays. They're looking very good in this ball game.
You said flocking, flying to the football. Coaches always use that, don't they?
They really do. It's almost it goes back to the old, when they click off the frame at the end of a play, they want to see all 11 deep.
And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. They come out here in the eye. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Cuts it out here, left sideline. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down.
Let's go!
And they'll run it here. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he is going to lose yardage here. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. And that's what you've got your tough little slot receiver for, isn't it? Right there, those 4th down conversions in the middle of the field.
He knows that's where he has to make his living, and that's where he has to make plays to help his team. And no one is asking him to do anything more or less than do exactly what we saw there.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for the Vikings, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And they'll get the weekend off now as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the